Hello, everybody, and welcome to Whispers Radio on AM 1600 WKKX, the Valley's Watchdog, and UPRN, the UFO Paranormal Radio Network. It is 6:09 p.m., 75 degrees here in downtown Wheeling, and one day away from Thrills in the Hills.
Yeah, boy. Woo. The rednecks will be out in force this weekend.
That's right. If you haven't heard, you're under a rock. Climb out. Right across from the main entrance, isn't it, Lo?
Right.
It'll be from 8 a.m. until it's over on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday.
Right.
Be about early evening, right?
Yeah, around 7-ish, probably.
Is your boy Tristan playing?
No, he's not.
Who's Tristan?
T-Bone.
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 T-Bones. Yes. He is so good.
Lola's in love.
Oh, come on. He's all of 17.
She likes him young.
Quiet kid.
Train them up in the way they should go.
Although he is going to be at River City on July 25th. Katie Orlovsky.
Really?
He's opening for Katie.
There you go.
Yeah.
Head out there. That'll be a good time.
Mm-hmm.
Give us a call, 304-214-1600. If you're out of the area, call us toll-free, 1-866-514-1600. I'm Jordan Klein here with Nick Queen, the lovely Lola Miller, and we have two special guests today.
Did you get my computer fixed, Nick?
What?
What? Yeah,
no. I just need to show you. So.
Okay.
Yeah, whenever I get you outside.
So I can blog. I know we made a big deal about me blogging last week. And
so the bet that we took, though, was who is she going to be mad at first, me or Nick? And Nick hasn't even fixed her computer yet so that she can blog.
I put a large bet on myself.
I think it's safe to say that you're down. You're going down.
But I made a lot of money.
Oh. Well.
No.
I would enjoy being able to do that. Honestly, I am computer illiterate.
You called me and said you were trying to download something, and I was like,
Yeah.
I have no idea what she's doing. I'm not sure.
Well, I couldn't figure out any other way.
Yeah, I'll show you.
I hope.
We'll work it out.
All right, we're gonna.
Where did she click?
There will be something on Lola's blog tonight.
It might be cuss words.
Listen,
Yeah.
within an hour after we go off the air tonight, Lola's gonna have something on her blog.
We're not leaving the station until she.
We are dedicated.
Oh boy, my dog's really going to have to pee. You know that, don't you?
It won't be the first time you've had to clean up after her. Come on.
That's true. That's true.
Our special guest today in the studio, Mr. John Schuster.
Well, obviously,
And
he's not going to speak.
He's
Waving
not going
does
near that
not
microphone.
work. Got a microphone.
Waving doesn't work. And Miss Lisa Queen, who is Nick's better half.
Much better.
And she has an announcement. She's going to tell us about something.
Oh, now listen to her all the time.
Yeah. Let me see now.
Yeah.
Don't pull it.
How can
Don't
I
pull
do
a
this
John on us.
nicely?
Well, let me see now.
Oh, bless her heart.
A little bit. I do declare.
I don't know nothing about birthing babies.
I'm here to give a holler out for if you're interested in lunch tomorrow, where Spiro Academy is having a spaghetti dinner sale or lunch sale. Send a kid to summer camp tomorrow, which is Wednesday, July 15th, and we will deliver to your businesses. It's $5. It comes with a pretty big portion of spaghetti and bread, and of course a lovely dessert. So the numbers you can call are 304-243-0033, or if you wait till tomorrow to call, you can call at 1-740-738-0203, and they will answer New Heart Covenant Christian Center. And if you want to, if no one answers, you can leave your name and your number, and we will get back to you. But it is $5, and actually Spiro Academy does this every year, but this year they're doing it for summer camp. They're starting it early, so.
And let me tell you, camp is amazing. It's the best time, and I'm going to be there. So imagine going to summer camp with me, right?
Oh, yeah.
Those poor children.
I know.
Kind of like that
prayer.
Harper's Island show. One by one.
Yeah, there we go.
That was, did you watch it?
Yes.
It was
Did you like the ending? Did you
Not expecting the ending.
I was
you
floored.
haven't seen it yet?
Yeah, I saw.
Did you watch
okay.
it, Jordan?
I did, but I'm not talking about it because I know. Listen, this is what happened to me. I had to double on Saturday, so I had to wait for Comcast to play. They put it
On
online after
demand?
midnight.
Yeah.
So I get home. I'm like, all right, I have to wait. I'm like sitting up patiently waiting. Then I get on Facebook and somebody writes me,
Oh,
"Hey,
they
blah blah blah
told
blah blah blah
you.
blah. How about that?" I'm like, "What? No!" It killed me.
That was the most bizarre ending.
He didn't tell me all the details though,
Well,
so
that
I
was
was
good.
he just told me who lived. I
You
was
know,
like,
when it first started, that very first episode, I thought, you know what, they're just doing gore for gore's sake. It's, and then, but I thought, well, I'm going to go ahead and give it a couple episodes just to see. By the third one, when they stopped killing 6 people in an episode, it really got good. And there at the end, the last 3 weeks probably, I should have known it was Henry because he was not
What
the
did
one.
you just do?
you said it on the air.
You spoiled it.
I thought y'all watched it.
Oh, yeah,
was
but
Henry,
not all of
what?
our listeners listen or watched it.
Well, that's too bad.
Yeah, they had.
This was on Saturday,
They had
folks.
time.
Also, Nick hates to watch movies with me because I always guess him before, but this one, I must admit, it took me till the next to the last episode to figure out who it was. So it was...
They threw so many red herrings in, and they were always so obvious.
Well, yeah, the retrospective at the end where they're like showing the video and all the people that had died. I'm like, I don't know who that person is. I don't
Really?
remember them.
Well, you know
There's
what?
a
They
couple.
never did discover the
Yeah.
chick in the pit
Yeah,
with the dog. They never discovered her.
they found the dog, but that was it.
They never discovered the guy in the very first one to get killed, the one that was tied up to the drive shaft of the boat.
They found the rope. That's it.
Yeah. And I kept waiting for his head to pop up, but it didn't.
And they
Should've
never
been
brought back the guy that had his face half blown off. He was only in that one episode, and he was nothing.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. So,
There were a lot of loose ends. They could have did a better job.
well, but I
it
like
was
the
great.
premise.
It was
I
fun.
like that 13 weeks, start to finish, don't have to worry about it getting canceled or hiatus or anything like that. I like that idea. Maybe they'll do the Dark Tower that way. 'Cause
Yeah,
I've
that would
heard
be good.
Yeah.
that they're going to. J.J. Abrams is looking into the Dark Tower
You'd have
series.
to do a lot of seasons for that. At least one for every book. Which is what they're going to do for A Song of Ice and Fire. Have you ever heard of that?
No.
George R.R. Martin. Some people out there know who I'm talking about. But HBO picked it up, and they're going to do, from what I understand, and they're still working it out, but each season is going to be one of the books.
Uh-huh.
Of course, everybody that also knows what I'm talking about would probably they'll have the show finished before he finishes writing the last book. He's notoriously bad for.
So is Stephen King.
Well, I mean, no, he's just, and then he posts on his blog, "Oh, I'm going to Finland," and I'm like, "No, you're not.
Finish the book.
Finish the book.
Series. I know.
You're not going to Finland."
I can't even, to tell you the truth, it was so long ago that I started the Dark Tower. I can't even tell you, except for the crab people or something. I can't even tell you what they're about. If I were to start it, I'd have to start the whole series over again. And I hate doing
What's that,
because
Dark Tower?
Yeah, because once I start a book, then I realize I've read it, and it's but that's the only way because it's been so long. I was surprised when you told me you finished it.
Who, me?
Yeah.
No, I never finished.
He finished it.
Oh, he finished. Yeah, everybody was surprised. We thought he would. Well, and then almost got killed. I mean, it's crazy.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I'm on Wolves of the Kala right now. So
You know who's a great writer?
who's that?
Stephen King.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No.
I just love how you pay so much attention to what we're talking about.
What? I do. I never read the Dark Tower series though, so on that aspect, no, I had no clue what you were talking about. I was trying, and then in the Pal Talk chat room, somebody was like, "Well, what's the Dark Tower?" I was like, it's books."
Yeah. Well,
Stephen King.
And as Taldor said, tired of King stuff. Just my opinion. He's been slacking off a little bit.
Well,
he's not as good as he used to be.
He's tried to retire like 4 times.
They just won't let him. So, sounds like we got our guest on the air. Very
yes,
good.
we do.
There we go. Tonight, without further ado, we have Mark and Debbie Constantino. They are a husband and wife paranormal investigation team. They are both certified parapsychologists. They have investigated many haunted sites. They are EVP specialists, and they're going to be talking about the processes there. We're going to be playing some EVPs. It's going to be a good time. You guys with us?
Yeah, we are.
How you guys doing today?
Doing well. How are you?
Oh, wonderful. Good.
A little bit busy, but we're okay.
Now, you guys had a rough week, and we're really glad that you could take some time apart to join us today. We know that kind of stuff can be stressful, and we really appreciate it.
Oh, hey, we appreciate doing it. You know, getting the word out there is what it's all about, for us. So thanks for having us.
Let's start it off basic, as if none of our listeners know anything about the paranormal. Let's start with what is an EVP.
Okay, basically, EVP is the capturing of spirit voices on any type of recording equipment out there, to where you're unable to hear it as you're recording. It's only on playback that it becomes evident, unless you're listening to a recorder to where you can listen to the recording as you're actually doing it with a set of headphones.
Yeah, but I mean, I've had EVP pop out of the monitor of my computer. I've had it on my cell phone. So
What?
basically, is savvy as we're getting as paranormal investigators, they're getting just as smart on their side.
I'm going to back you up just a second. You had an
Yeah.
EVP pop out of the monitor on your computer.
Yes.
What does that mean?
It's really weird because I don't usually use analog, only because, it's a lot of work. It's, and then you have all these tapes. But I had bought a vintage recorder. And if you're going to use a vintage, old kind of reel-to-reel recorder, you want to use the old tube type. So I had got one on eBay, and I was playing with it. And I don't usually get a lot of women, but I had a woman, and her name was Beth. And so, and it's kind of, I don't know, analog's great if you're not doing a ghost actually working, because digital's so much easier.
Yeah.
But, her name was Beth, and I'm at my computer, and my tower has like a little blue light on it, and the blue light dips out, and you hear clearly a disembodied voice say, "It's Beth." But I mean, I was the only one in the room, so nobody can validate it, but I know it happened.
And actually, that other type of communication that Debbie just referenced to would have to be classified as ITC. EVP is strictly through recordings.
Now, what would you call it if you get, let's say you're getting a lot of EVP, but you're hearing a little bit audio too? I know Nick and I were in an investigation one time where we heard a voice that was audibly once, and then it only came up through the recorders, several times after that. What would that be?
Well, if you're hearing it with your human ears, okay, and there's more than one person that hears it, that would be considered a disembodied voice, which is totally separate from EVP.
No, but we captured this disembodied voice on EVP.
Well, no, we captured a disembodied voice on a recorder also, because we happened to be recording at the same time.
Right.
But you can't confuse the two.
Oh, well,
and then,
I don't want to argue because Mark knows everything, but go ahead.
And then if there's a whole bunch of people in the room and only one person hears the voice, that would have to be considered direct voice, which is what Debbie's kind of been playing around with the past month. And but they're all completely different, and you just got to make sure you don't confuse one with the other.
So I think Jordan's question was more, is it possible that, the disembodied voice and the EVP, are they two, they're probably coming from, of course, the same entity, but...
What causes it to come out more? Is it more of a is it manifesting itself more?
Yeah, maybe drawing on more energy or something, or something like that.
What do you mean, as opposed to of one to the other?
Yeah,
Sure.
Let's say the voice is audible at first and then it goes away. Does that mean it had a stronger manifestation and I lost energy, and that's why it could only be heard in the recordings?
Well, I think we don't really know the answer to that. I mean, that's kind of like, okay, you might see a spirit one time that might only be able to manifest as a mist. And then another time it might be that same spirit that's, for whatever reason, able to manifest as a full-bodied apparition. I mean, it's just different types of communication. And believe me when I say they are the ones that are in charge of all this communication, EVP and everything else. So whether they choose to manipulate the internal noise of your recorder to form an EVP, or they decide to do however they do it and, bring forth a disembodied voice, we don't know exactly how they do that or why they would choose one or the other.
But I want to interrupt you here, though. I think it depends a lot on whether or how earthbound the spirit is. And also, I think it depends on, okay, we specialize in EVP. You might specialize in spirit photography. Maybe, it's the same on the other side. Maybe these people just say, you know what? I'm not going through that door. I'm not crossing. I'm going to stay here. You know what? I'm going to communicate with these people. Just like there's experts in this field, there may be experts on the other side. And maybe some just get it down and really know how to do it. And, maybe they, because that's what I do a lot too. I say, you guys aren't coming through really clear. Why don't you get the best speaker in the house, and then you can ask your questions through him. Do you know what I mean? So
yeah, I never really looked at it that way.
Now, do you have a lot of success with that?
You know what? I've been trying this thing, and it's called direct voice. It's been around forever, like EVP. And I kind of say, you know what? Because I'm kind of a little crazy in the fact that, by the grace of God, I'm not working right now. I just, do the website and stuff like that, and Mark's the one with a full-time job. But, I go around the house. I clean every room. I talk to every one of them. Certain paranormal shows are on TV. I clean a couch. I say, sit down, watch TV. I'm making a cake. I talk to them all day long. And I came to the point to where I'm saying, I'm not going to record right now. What I'd like you guys to do is, if you can just talk to me, I can hear you. Just talk to me in the air. If I respond to you and I can hear you, if I record, it's only to prove it. You have absolutely no idea. It's like having, the only thing I could equate it to, it's like having a child. And you say, one mother says, you'll never be anything. You can't do anything. You're useless. And another one that says, there's nothing you can't do. You know what? You give them an inch, and, you just, I believe thought creates. And if you totally put out there and you have faith in what they can do, my total way of thinking is ghosts only strike the tip of the iceberg of what's out there. We're never going to know how many dimensions are out there, how they do what they do, or anything like that. But I do know that just when you think you've seen everything, you haven't, and it's like they're capable of doing everything. I've had stuff aborted. It's just crazy. But I think the more faith and the more confidence and the more you totally believe that they can do it, I think belief is the whole thing, whether it be religion or anything else. If you have faith in them, believe they can do it, they can and they will.
Now you're saying that you're actually having audible conversations now and throughout your house without any use of recording.
Not conversations, but I'll explain it to you like this. I don't know how long you guys have been doing EVP, but after a while, you start to, we'll take like a long road trip, let's say, and I'll have the window open because I smoke. Now, in the wind, coming in the window sometimes, I'll come back from a home location. I'll hear sentences. We sleep with like 5 fans in the room.
Yeah, me too.
After a while, though, I'll actually hear music in the fans. And I've come to the point now, I'll take Mark's arm, and I'll say, okay, you got to listen really clearly. And every time I hear the music, I squeeze his arm. And Mark's heard it as well. And I think it's just the point of, being able to hear into the white noise long enough to where you're kind of developing your spirit ears. Now, as far as the voices, I asked this maybe 2 months ago. Now, I've heard, and you can hear exactly where they're standing in a room or where the voices are emanating from.
Really?
I could hear, what did the guy say? He said, I'm with Tony. And, and when you're sleepy and you're in that kind of trancey state, a lot of times that's when it happens. But I'll just be doing housework, and I'll hear somebody say, you said you'd help me. Clear sentence voices. I've heard him say, I'm with Tony. I'm like, well, is Tony your friend? Yeah. But, I've also come to the point, too, to where I've had so many people, like, you can feel them staring at you, and I can't even sleep at night. So we came to the point where we said, you know what, you guys, it's bedtime. You got to go in the office now because that's where they sleep. It's kind of like a rooming house, you know. You guys stay in the office, and we're going to talk to you tomorrow, but I got to sleep now, you know.
See, and the thing real quick, and then we can move on, is with direct voice, like I said, they're all different types of spirit communication, but with a disembodied voice, you don't have to have any, I guess you could say, extra psychic abilities to hear it because the people in the room will hear it.
Mm-hmm.
But
No.
Wait. But with direct voice, I think there needs to be some kind of psychic ability going on because I'll be laying in bed right next to Debbie and I won't hear it. Okay, the other night we were laying in bed wide awake talking and she said, "Did you just hear that?" And I said, "No." And apparently a spirit said to Debbie, and she was the only one that heard it, which is the way direct voice normally works.
Yeah.
A spirit just said, "Stock up." And we didn't know what the hell they were talking about.
Stock up.
But that's what Debbie heard.
But, I mean,
so,
it's not like, and it's not like you're half dreamy. It's like, I'm totally awake.
We were talking.
But you mixed it up, though. You said direct voice twice. You meant disembodied.
Disembodied voice. Whoever's in the room will hear it.
No, but you used the same word twice is what I'm saying. You were wrong is what I'm saying, but go ahead.
Again?
Now, with you're listening to them, do you think it's like more of a psychic, like Debbie, that maybe you have a psychic ability where you're able to hear things more than, let's say, Mark is, or?
I think we're all born with a psychic gift. I think some people choose to unwrap it where other people just never do. But by the same token, I believe it's almost like some people have the propensity to be overweight. Some people have the propensity to be thin, but I look at it like this, if you're overweight, you're on a diet, then you have a person that's got the propensity to be thin,
mm-hmm.
and they overeat. I mean, I think if you want this, it's out there to get. But I do think some people are stronger than others. And I'm not trying to blow my own horn, but I've seen some things I wouldn't even repeat to people because you never believe me.
And plus, I mean, Debbie spends the whole day at home actively trying to communicate with them.
So she's openly seeking
right.
The
So
experience.
that alone, you're going to raise your psychic vibrations, for lack of a better term, a heck of a lot more than somebody else that just says, "Hey, we got an investigation in 2 weeks. We're going to break our recorders out then."
Yeah.
Well, and not only that, too, we do not provoke. And we, this kind of sounds a little weird, but, the living, there's some cool people. But the dead, and the way I protect my home, the only dead that are allowed in there through that gate, I have St. Michael put a screen around my house. The only ones allowed in there are people that beat at my vibration. There's not a lot of people that beat up my vibration that are living, but these people I do anything for. You know what I mean? Day of the dead, I cook for them. I care about them. I mean, I know it sounds really weird, but these people are my friends. I've had people, and there's 2 people here. They've been here for about 6 years now, and I mean, would I like to let them, not to let them cross, but would I love to see them cross? Absolutely. But it's almost like a stray animal. You want to get them a good home, but, you're not going to let them live in the street, get hit by a car. You're going to, I know you're safe here, as long as you believe in God and you're not evil.
And that's not the best of analogy. She doesn't mean to.
Well, I liked it, and I used it.
Well,
okay, go ahead.
Okay.
But
Now, does the house you live in, is it older or, fairly new?
It was brand spanking new.
We had it built 10 years ago.
Yeah, I mean, but every house we live in, I could write a book on every place we've lived in. We've had something that's, I mean, not really weird kind of. I've had stuff aborted in here, doppeled. I've had
what do you mean by doppeled? If you don't mind me stopping you there.
Okay, when something's aborted, it's brought from the other side to this side.
Okay.
When it's doppeled, it's taken from this side.
So you've actually had things like disappear from your house?
Oh, absolutely. As a matter of fact, the day we bought the house, I don't know if it was the day, but the week, we had a guy come in, put in our blinds.
Mm-hmm.
So we have like 22 windows. I'm here alone with this guy. And not that it matters, but he was really annoying because he was like a salesman too. So he kept talking to me, trying to sell me stuff. So like I kind of got out of his way, and he's like, "Where's the papers I just had?" And I'm like, "Dude, I mean, I wanted to stay as far away from this guy as possible because he was very annoying." And I'm like, I don't know where your papers are. They're right here. They were right here. So I'm like, okay, well, if I come across them, I'll mail them to you. Well, I go upstairs into my bedroom, or what turned out to be my daughter's bedroom. In the middle of the floor, in the doorway, were his papers stacked in a neat little pile.
Wow. We got a question in the message board. It says, do you think or believe that there is time on the other side? The reason I ask, for the most part, interactions occur more after dark. Do you have more interaction after dark?
Yeah. Well, I think that has something to do. Now, I can't tell you the physics behind it, but between 1 and 3, I think there's absolutely something between those hours.
Mm-hmm.
If we rent a place on our own, I don't care if I'm there all night, but I will be there between 1 and 3 in the morning. I had heard it had something to do with the dew point level, and it's easier for them to manifest at that point. Now, also, as far as time and space, I don't think there's any time and space. But I do think whenever I pray, and I pray to angels, I totally believe. I don't think there's ever a time I prayed for something that I didn't get it. But I think whenever I pray, I always say, and I need this now. Because you will get whatever you pray for, but you might get it 10 years from now. And as far as EVP, it's a long story, but I was on life support. It wasn't threatening or anything like that, but they just couldn't get the breathing tube down my throat.
Yeah.
So Mark said, going to make me cry, but he said, Debbie would do anything for you guys. And then he finished.
I record. She was on life support for 6 days, and she had the easy part because she slept through it. But seeing her like that, and it was serious. I mean, they thought.
Well, just hurry up. They
all right,
don't
anyway,
have to know.
while she was in critical care, I recorded in her room, and it was basically twofold. Number one was because I really wanted to know, who was there watching over Debbie while she was going through this struggle, because I couldn't help her. I would talk to her, but I didn't know if she was understanding me or hearing me. So that was one of the reasons. And the second one is I knew that when she got better, she would have kicked my ass if I would have told her that I didn't record in her room. So, I basically got on a recorder and I said, Debbie does everything she can for you guys, and you see it every day. And I said, now I need you to do a favor for her. And I needed them to, if they were able to tell her in this, because they basically kept her in a coma. And I needed them, if they could, to tell her that she just needed to rest, and that, that the next day that they were going to try to take the tube out.
Right.
And it's a long story, but they were really worried. They didn't want to take the breathing tube out because they thought if something went wrong, they weren't going to be able to get it back in, and she was going to pass away.
But the point that I brought this up, I'm sorry, because, he can talk about stuff. But the thing of it is, the reason, and Mark told me this, we had a 4-hour drive to San Francisco, and he told me the entire story. And, I said, well, did you ask them to do it now? And he said, yeah, I did. But see, my question, I don't think that there is any time and space, because we know for a fact 80% of the time they'll answer the questions before we ask.
Really?
So, a lot. Yeah, and the more you do it, the more you'll see it. And the bottom line, he said, yeah, I did. I told them now. But you don't know how far, I know they'll do it, but you don't know, maybe I believe if they've already crossed, they're being taught higher levels of spirituality. So you don't know if they're in class. You don't know how far on the other side of that portal they are. You don't know. So they may just say, okay, well, we're doing it now, but it may take them a little while to part the veil. open up, come through. I know when we go on locations and we come back, a lot of times it takes maybe 2 or 3 days to open that portal back up.
Now how exactly do you open up a portal?
All right, that's a very good question. Well, what we do, the more you record, the more you open up a portal. But, you know, it's almost like, I don't know, starting your car. Say you have an old car. Well, sometimes you have to start it like 8 times before it clicks. Well, it's kind of like that. And I kind of equate it to, and I have these word analogies, but, you know, if you have a thing of pudding and it develops that skin over it, well, I kind of equate that to like a portal.
Okay.
So what you want to do is keep the pudding nice and soft and not get a skin. And the way to do that is to kind of keep like a psychic doorstop in the door. The way I believe you do that is to record, you know, I know people work and, you know, you can't record all the time, but, you know, maybe once a day or, you know, because they don't have any sense of time, but they do have a sense of, oh, okay, she got the key in the door. Okay, putting on TV, getting out of the shower. So they can kind of tell about when your routine is. But the way we've been doing it lately, and I'm going to continue to do this, is there's a place in town to where I know is very, very haunted. I don't like to go there a lot because I don't like to hear children's voices, but there are children there. You know, we lost a child, so it's difficult. So,
yeah.
Long story short, a lot of times we'll just go in the parking lot and just sit there. And, you know, like I bring the kids little toys and I just kind of leave them there. But this place is so haunted, you could just sit in the parking lot after the building's closed and, you know, just talk to them. So it's almost like once you get them talking, you know, the veil's parted. And, you know, what's also unusual is we'll start here clicking in the recorder. It's almost like, I don't know, Morse code or teletype or something like that. And after you hear the clicking, the voices come through much clearer. So I don't particularly know if it's the type of recorder we're using or whatever, but I have noticed that.
Wow. Now, this is also kind of like with you going around your house and you know, actively seeking, you know, the voices. That kind of keeps the door open too, right?
Yeah, I think any attention you pay to them does.
Now, here, I got a question. I'm sorry, Mark, just real quick.
No, go ahead. We have a way of going a roundabout way to answer a question, so it might take a little bit.
With you know, actively seeking these voices, spiritually, do you think, let's say a demonic force is coming through, are you afraid of any like spirits that could hurt you? If you've always got this doorway kind of open or always got a doorstop in the doorway, how do you protect yourself, or what's your fears there with something coming through that's not too good for you?
That is an excellent question, and usually we like to talk about this on every show. First off, the way I protect my house, and I don't like to say how I protect it only because you never know who's out there that doesn't like you, that wants to hurt you. So it's kind of like the way I protect my house is my security code to my alarm system. You know what I mean? But anybody can do it. I work through St. Michael. Nobody can come through my house unless they pass St. Michael. I'll put it to you like that. And, you know, and I haven't had any problems since. Now, having said that, we do a lot of work with the Ghost Adventurers. We'll do their conventions. We've gone to Bobby Mackey's. And the one thing I will say, and these guys, yeah, they're friends of mine, but forgetting that, these guys go to some of the darkest places on the planet. I mean, it's not like they're going into some house, and not that I'm putting anybody down, because I'm not. There's not one person I've worked with I don't care about in this field. But they're not going in to see, like, oh, there's a soldier, okay, it's residual, or, oh, is grandma there? Okay, well, that's grandma. They're going into places that ritual was performed, that ley lines are on, they're going into dangerous places. And I never really, you know, I was born in a haunted house, and yeah, I think there was rituals done in the cemetery, you know, behind the home I was raised in. But it's, I think it's extremely important to protect yourself. And, you know, not only from these places, but a lot of the, you know, conventions you go to, you don't know the person sitting next to you. You don't know, you know, it's just a good thing to do. It's like locking your house every day when you leave the house. You have no idea. the term backstabbing came from people throwing cords because spirits will actually enter through your back. I mean, so it's just a smart thing to do in life. But can EVP come through? I think if you're paying attention to the dead, what better way for a demon to manifest? Because, I'm told they can manifest almost 100%, to where, all right, they might be missing a toe. But if you see a full-fledged apparition of, let's say, a little girl, are you going to notice she's missing a toe? Do you know what I mean? So how would they, as far as demons and stuff like that, what better way to come through than, I'm an innocent child. Please help me. Please pay attention to me. Please talk to me. Does that make sense?
Yes,
to you?
It does.
Okay.
Children I'm one of the ones that would love to be able to communicate with spirits or whatever you choose to call them. And I'm probably the one person that it's never happened to. And I know here at the station, we supposedly have a gentleman that worked in the bank. This used to be a bank a long time ago. And several people that are sensitive have, said, yes, there's a spirit here. Somebody actually, spoke to him. And yet every time I'm here by myself, that's what I do. I'm constantly talking to him. And yet I never get any response. People have had papers knocked out of their hands and everything else. And no, not me. So how did you discover? Have you always been sensitive to this, or is this something that you have cultivated over the years?
Well, you know what it is? It's a blessing now, but you know how things go full circle?
Yeah.
I was I was born an only child in a house, and the only thing that separated my house from the cemetery in the back was a chain link fence. As a matter of fact, to this day, my mom sold the house 4 years ago, but you could stand behind the fence and see my father's grave. As a kid, I'm just going to put this out there just because I love the show. I think Psychic Kids is one of the best shows out there. Some people say, well, you know what? What do these kids do after they leave? And I was one of those kids to where I didn't have brothers and sisters to go to.
Yeah.
My father was psychic. I know this because he would steal books from the library, stash them. I mean, books on poltergeist. Back in the day, there was nothing written on that kind of thing. He would steal them and not bring them back and hide them behind our other books. I'm like, Daddy, why didn't you bring this back? Don't worry about it. My mom wore the pants in the family. Her way of dealing with it was to pretend it wasn't there. And she wore the pants in the family. Don't tell Debbie. Don't tell Debbie. I mean, we'd be eating dinner, and you would hear somebody run the entire length of my attic, stamping like they wanted to be heard. As far as seeing, I've had old hag syndrome when I was about 7 years old.
Yeah.
I saw the entity attached to it. So, but, back in the day, you didn't talk about it.
Can you
put you away for
explain
stuff like that.
Can you explain what that is, the old hag syndrome, if you don't mind?
Well, they call it old hag syndrome, sleep paralysis. What it is my explanation of it is I've had it, and I still have it to this day, and I might not ever get rid of it, and I think it has to do with how well I protect myself. But what it is some people feel the bed sink around them, and my belief in what it is they're trying to get in your body, not to possess you, because I don't think they have enough energy to do that. But you have a body, they don't. That's what they're trying to do. Some people say, oh, it's, you're in the alpha state and this and this. Some people think it's aliens. I will never forget when I was 7 years old and this happened to me. I watched a woman come through my door. She appeared like smoke, and then she kind of manifested, stood at the end of my bed. She had sleeves that hung. She opened her palms toward me, and I was frozen to where if there were a fire breaking out next to you, I would not have been able to move. If it happens to me now, I just ask St. Michael to put me to sleep because there's really nothing you can do. And
wow.
And he has, it's like crazy, but I got it down now. But because I know, it's happened so many times that, I mean, it's a very, very, very scary thing. And the only thing that'll really jar you out of it is, if the phone rings next to you or something really human, like a sound or something. It's almost like if you're a little kid. I don't know if you guys see, but when I was a little kid, I would see them. And then you get so shocked that it's almost like throwing a rock into a pond, and then it's gone, because the shock of you seeing them and being afraid makes them, they can no longer manifest. That's my belief.
Yeah. Now we have, and I hate to cut you short.
No, that's okay.
But we have about, that's okay. I can too. So we have about 10, 11 minutes left, and we wanted to get to some of your EVPs, if that's okay with you.
Yeah, yeah.
Because just to kind of see, I'm just going to see here which ones we have. You sent us 6. Is there anyone that you would want us to play first?
If you want, you can play the one.
Here, Mark.
Well, no, I've got the number in here.
Well, I've got some in here too.
It's from Bobby Mackey's, and I think it's number 45. I got to get the paperwork real quick.
I've got a 45. It says Debbie then.
No, that's not it. Debbie.
Mark then.
No, it's number 24.
Oh, okay, 24.
All right, we'll go ahead and play that one. I got it.
Oh, you got it? Okay.
Yeah. So.
Well, real quick before you play it, I'll tell you what it is.
Sure, thank you.
What it is, we were in Bobby Mackey's. As soon as you played the clip, the first thing you're going to hear is, to me, sounds like a female child saying, "Get out." Then Debbie's going to say, "We can hear your voice. We'll play it back right in front of you." And then the same female says, "Right behind here." You can clearly hear it's the same female. I hear right behind you, but Debbie hears right behind here. But she says, "Get out." Then Debbie talks, then right behind here.
To me, it sounds like an old lady, but go ahead.
We can hear you. I can play your voice back right here.
I'm going to play that again.
I think I kind of heard it.
Yeah, I think so too, but I'm going to kick it up.
Time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Here we go.
We can hear you. I can play your voice back right here.
Yeah, right behind here.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was really clear.
Can we do that one more time if you don't mind?
Sure.
All right.
We can hear you. I can play your voice back right here.
Ooh. Wow.
Okay, that's scary.
Freaky.
Yeah.
So now you were able to hear them, and then you recorded and played it right back to them, correct?
Well, no.
You were just telling them that.
You were just telling them, okay.
In the house.
Gotcha.
Yeah, no, that was just straight EVP. We were just recording, and that's one of the things we do when we're out of location. We'll tell them, as soon as we turn our recorder off, we're going to play it back right here, right in front of you. So if you're able to talk to us, stick around, and you can actually hear what you said to us.
Huh. Okay. Well, that's interesting.
That was cool. This next one, we're going to play the 45 doll clip.
Okay, that's we have dolls that we get voices through, whether they're attached to the doll or they just see us paying attention to the doll and speak then. But what happened is Debbie bought a new shelf in our office, and she put 2 dolls next to one another. We have a doll named Patrick that speaks quite a bit, and he's really old, like 130 years old, and he has no clothes on. He's all tattered, and we put him next to a doll that was dressed really well and everything. But the first day we got him, Debbie accidentally sat on it and ripped his arm.
I didn't sit on it. I picked it up and accidentally put my finger through his arm.
Okay, so anyway, Deb, you'll hear Debbie say, "Do you guys like your new shelf?" And Patrick says to the other doll, "It's in way better shape." He was saying the mate's a mess because it was the first time they were right next to each other on the shelf.
Okay.
Do you like your new shelf?
Well,
I could hear that really clear.
That's pretty much how it came out of the recorder, too. It was last day when we got it.
Yeah, let's go ahead and play that again.
Do you like your new shelf?
Yes.
Yeah.
Wow.
What's really unusual, too, is with Patrick, when we first got the doll, we've gotten there were 3 entities attached to it. Now there's only one guy. It's always the same voice. We've brought him to Kentucky with us. I mean, it's always the same voice. It doesn't matter where you bring it. So I think there is something to do with the spirit attachment to antiques. Can I say something really quickly?
Sure, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Okay. I consider him a friend, Chris Fleming's dad passed away 2 days ago.
Oh, wow.
And, if everybody could just take a minute just to, say a prayer for him and his family, because I know Chris is the real deal. I've worked with him. there's no. He's one of the best in the field, and I know he also feels the pain of other people, like whatever his dad was going through. So if everybody could just, remember at some point, maybe light a candle or say a prayer for him and his family.
Now, Chris is on Taps a lot, correct? Is that the same Chris Fleming?
Chris Fleming. Well, he had the show Dead Famous. He was on Taps once, I think, but don't quote me there.
Yeah, I think so.
But yeah, he's one of the best I worked with, and he's a good guy.
Wow.
Yeah, we'll make sure we do that.
Okay, well, thank you for
that.
Okay.
Do you have the other?
I've got
EVPs?
6 of them, so you tell me if it,
Well, let's go ahead and play the 49 R Hills clip.
Okay, you're going to hear me talking first. I'm not sure off the top of my head what I say, but the EVP response is, I'm a doc. Oh, no, I think I say, do you consider this your place? And the EVP is, I'm a doctor.
Ooh.
Yeah, and
it was at a sanitarium, so.
Oh, nice.
There we
okay,
go.
that explains a lot.
uh-huh.
Okay, here we go.
Do you consider this your building?
Okay, I heard that.
That's creepy.
Yeah. I don't really like that one, but it's when you associate it with the place to where there were doctors in
Yeah.
there.
Sure.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Let's hear that one more time.
Do you consider this your building?
Oh, and he says it like, I'm a doctor.
Exactly.
Yeah, like
Very
Do you
smug.
realize I'm
Yeah.
a doctor?
Yeah.
Like arrogant.
Well, and in real life, I mean, I'm sure everybody's run into a doctor that's pretty
Yeah.
arrogant. So.
There is no such thing
and
as
I
an
can
arrogant
name quite
doctor.
a few after this week.
Yeah, I'm sure you
I'm
have.
a doctor.
Yeah.
Let's go with
Number 80.
do 80 home clip.
Sure. Why not?
Okay. Okay, Deb, you want to talk about it? This is Sienna.
Okay, yeah. This is one to where we lost a daughter. Now, she couldn't even talk. She was baptized.
Mm-hmm.
So, to me, every mother wants their child to cross, but I totally believe she did because she only comes to us on certain occasions. The last time I've seen her was on our anniversary. And I do think once you cross, you have to ask your guardian angel permission to come visit. Mark's putting the phone down like I'm boring him. So, long story short, I would not listen to the CVP because to me it sounds just like my voice in the very beginning. It says, "This is Sienna." Now, I didn't ask that. I said, "Is this Sienna?" So what they can do is manipulate your voice. The interesting part is on the second part, it says, "Please record it." And for 6 months, I wouldn't listen to it because I'm like, no way. She's not there. She's in heaven. No way. I'm not going to listen to it. And I heard the very beginning. It sounded like me.
Mm-hmm.
Now, a couple friends of mine have listened to it and said, Debbie, if she could talk, don't you think like she has half your vocal cords? Don't you think maybe her voice might sound like yours? But what was really interesting to me is when you listen to it, it says, "This is Sienna." But when it says, "Please record it," it almost goes into an adolescent voice.
And the interesting thing with this is our daughter passed away when she was 6 months old. So, like Debbie said, we never heard her speak. So if she was going to communicate with us, this is the message she would have had to have brought forward, or else we would not have known it was her.
Yeah.
And I mean, I never said there's never been one time I've said, "Please record it." I know I'm recording.
Yeah.
So.
No, let's play that one.
I'm going to do it again, you guys, okay?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, and that voice there isn't yours at all.
No, it's not. And
No.
I told Debbie that for 9 months, and I said, Deb, it's not you. And she was
All
like,
right.
no, I won't listen to it. I'm not going to listen to it.
Hey, real quick, guys, we are running out of time. I want to make sure we get your website out.
Okay,
what-
it's www.spirits-speak.com.
And that's a hyphen dash, not a uppy downy one.
Right, not an underscore. It's the one in the
Okay.
middle.
Jordan.
Yeah.
So spirits-speak.com.
Right.
And they can get in touch with you if they have any questions. They can get up with you and you can help them out.
Absolutely. And our MySpace is on the front page of our website, and we accept everybody.
Oh, that's great.
You can just MySpace us as friends.
Or email us through the website. We have an email that comes to us.
And also, really quickly, we're going to be at the next TAPS event, which is going to be at the Stanley Hotel. I want to say it's the 6th through the 8th. But
I'd love to go there.
Yeah, oh man, you got to go there. It's crazy. They have elk, and we're going there in November. Hopefully it'll snow, and we'll just have to hide the axes, man, because it'll be just like The Shining.
Oh, it'll snow. Believe me, my son lives around there, and it'll snow in November. Don't worry.
And and they have elk out there, and if nothing else, it's just gorgeous.
Oh, I bet.
Gorgeous.
I've seen pictures. It looks like a very beautiful place.
You've never been to Estes Park?
Us? Yeah, we've been there before.
Oh, well, then you know what the town is like,
years
too.
ago there.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah,
Nice.
and it's haunted as hell.
All right, I want to thank you guys very much. We got to cut to the news. Thank you very much, Mark and Debbie Constantino, for sharing your EVP with us. We'll be able to hear them on the recorded show when it's up there. Thanks a lot, guys, and we'll keep in touch with you.
Thanks for having us.
And thanks for bearing with us running late.
It happens. See you guys.
Okay. All right. Take care of yourselves.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
All right, it's 7 o'clock. Time for CNN. We'll be right back. You're listening to Whispers Radio on AM 1600 WKKX and UPRN, the UFO Paranormal Radio Network. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the second hour of Whispers Radio. It is 7:09 p.m. It is... I changed the screen. Hold on. 76 degrees here in downtown Wheeling. Give us a call, 304-214-1600 if you're out of the area, 1-866-514-1600. I'm Jordan Klein here with Nick Queen, the lovely Lola Miller, and a few other scragglers.
Assorted guests.
It's like a bunch of Skittles.
People keep walking in.
Some colorful Skittles hanging out in the studio today with us. Our second hour guest is not here yet. He is on his way. So I'm going to open up the phone lines for a little bit. First, I want to say this past week...
what?
Everything okay?
A microphone? Your mic's not working? Oh, headphones.
Nikki's confused.
Yes, he is.
John Keel, the man that wrote the Mothman Prophecies that brought, that story to the world, passed away.
Aw.
I know we were trying to get him on the show, and that didn't happen.
In anticipation. You want a mic? Are you just doing bubbles in the mic, or do you want one?
I was just sound effects.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, I'm a sound effect moment.
And I blew it.
Man.
Oh,
see,
okay.
You took my thunder.
Oh, my goodness. And who else just walked in? Do I refer to him as your old name or your new name?
Yeah, what should we call you? Are we trying to be professional?
We could try as much as we can get away with. So, Mike Drzako works.
Okay.
So, hey guys.
Damn. It's hard to remember that.
The taint.
Wow.
All
so,
right.
Sorry I'm late.
It happens, buddy.
Yeah,
We had a timer going.
Did you?
Yeah.
Charge me for a minute?
For our second hour, folks, we got Mr. Mike Drzako. He's, I guess, a big dog now at Grandview Park in Marshall County.
Right.
So what do you got going on there, man?
We just started. I started up there last week, and one of the first things I'm diving into is a Halloween thing. We were looking at the prison, what's going on with the prison down there, and but I've always kind of wanted to do like haunted hikes, haunted trails. So I started talking to Craig White, who's the guy who runs Grandview Park, and we started talking about a month and a half ago, and he really liked the ideas that I was bringing up there, and they already had some of their own too. So things just kind of worked out, and we're working on putting together a pretty big Halloween thing for this October. So we're looking at haunted hikes. We're gonna have a haunted barn up there. We're gonna have a whole area.
What are we calling it?
Right
haunted.
Now it's very haunted. We're looking at haunted hills right now.
Oh, that's good.
So Thrills in the Hills is taken.
Yes.
Chills
in the Hills. You could do Chills in the Hills.
Right. We're Halloween in the Hills.
We didn't even think of that one.
Chilla in the Hilla.
Right.
Yeah. So there's a reason why he doesn't have a mic that works.
Look at these guys.
Why did he keep turning them off? I don't know.
I'm not doing it. The ghosties are.
It sounded really good in my head. I can't help it.
No. What's the outlook for this haunted house? What are we doing?
Well, we just you guys came up last week, and we had our first meeting. We're having a group that comes together, and we're really trying to plan this out. We figure 3 months working on it. Should be a good amount of time for our first year with it. So, but it's really right now laying out the trails, pretty much coming up with the ideas that we want to put in it, and also doing some research, because really the idea for the Halloween stuff was, you're in the woods, it's scary enough. There's not a whole lot you got to do at night in the woods. But we started playing out this idea. There's a sanitarium that was up there, Grandview Sanitarium. And we started researching that a little bit. It was a tuberculosis clinic a long time ago. So we're still doing research on it just to see what's going on up there and the different ideas from the sanitarium. But that's going to be the park is broken up in two halves for this Halloween thing. The one half, like when you get up there and you get to the left, that's where the regular golf course is and stuff.
Yeah.
That's where we're going to do the haunted hikes and the haunted house. But off to the right is going to be the miniature golf course, a lot of the kids stuff, a lot of the family friendly activities. So we're going to do trick or treat golf, mini golf. My daughter, she's 4, just turned 4. She wants to do a witch hunt. So I don't know really what that entails, but it's a witch hunt. so I might have to dress up like a great witch and run around in the woods.
I wouldn't, because they'll burn you.
Right. So I don't know.
You never know what's in those kids' minds. That's
right. So, but we're just a bunch of different things for the kids up there too. So it should be a good time for everybody. But right now we're really looking for people that want to volunteer. I know that's a big word, volunteer, but it's especially for something that's in its first year. We're looking for people to help put it together and see this thing grow for years to come. So really, we have the prison down there, and they're going to get their people. 1 billion people, I think, served in the prison, so alive and dead. But we're going to play off them a little bit, and they're going to get their people. We're hoping some people come up and experience something different up there. So it's going to be good, and it's going to be a quality effort by everybody involved. But volunteers, we're looking for theater groups that want to get involved and help us with the house and some of the other kid activities. So if anybody out there is willing to jump on board, you can give us a call up at Grandview Park. And the website too is gvprc.com.
You're going to be putting a website up hopefully soon for the haunted hills.
Yep. So
now, just ballparking, how many volunteers do you think we're going to need for this?
I would say 250,000. Just to make it succcessil. I don't know.
A lot of zombies.
Right. Yeah. It's really anybody that wants to be a part of it is more than willing to wants to jump on board can give us a call and participate. Send me an email. My email right now is mike.drzako@yahoo.com.
You might need to spell that.
I sure will. It's Mike
M-I-K-E
Drzako Drosieko. So send all the thanks and complaints and all that to that email address. But anybody that wants to be involved, and like Nick said, we're going to be putting up a website here pretty soon for the house. Making it more interactive. We're going to do some marketing for it all within the local area and outside. With a lot of the bigger colleges, Fairmont, Morgantown, Ohio State, some of the places outside of here. So really try to bring entertain people that live around here, and also bring some people in to Marshall County. I think that's a pretty big goal for all of us involved. So, you all these times you hear about people leaving, you have to go somewhere else to get entertained. There's nothing wrong with wanting to keep people here and also bring more people in. So, and I think with all the different activities, with Boo at the Zoo, with the prison stuff, with everything around here, we should be proud of what we have to offer, and try to bring as many people into the area as possible.
Have you done any research on the house? Is there any way that there could be ghosties hanging out
Absolutely. There? If you've been into the Red Barn, if you've seen the Red Barn, you know that there's probably some interesting things that have happened in there. And
it's set out fun.
Yeah.
You could do a lot.
Yeah. There's all different kinds of things that you can do with it, and the woods themselves. I mean, if you go into the woods, I walked the trails the other day and about passed out. I'm not necessarily in the best of shape, but you walk through there, and even during the day by yourself, you're kind of like, this is creepy. There's not a whole lot you have to do, but we're just really trying to bring a whole new experience to the area, and something that you can't get at the prison, something that you can't get at Boo at the Zoo. Just make a new, unique thing, and roll with it. So
now we were thinking, if you just had one creepy looking kid walking out in the woods by themselves, that would be enough.
That would be.
I wouldn't go in.
Yeah.
That would scare the crap out of anybody. Oh my God, that's a kid! It wouldn't take much.
Random child
twin.
I was going to say twins in blue dresses.
Yep.
You need to have a kid out there doing jump rope and sing, some kind of childish song, you know.
Red rum, red rum.
Right.
Yeah.
So I mean, and that's another thing too with ideas. If you have ideas, if you have any kind of anything that you wanted to see, that's another good thing with this the Grandview Park Halloween thing is that it's kind of a clean slate. If you want to see something, maybe we can make it work this year. If not, we put it on the back burner and we look at next year. Hay rides is something that I really wanted to do, and it's still on the list. But I don't know, if we can make it happen this year.
The
just
Headless Horseman.
it's exactly what I was thinking.
With
Kind of like a sleep,
hayride.
right? Like a Sleepy Hollow kind of area. There's a
Yes.
place we can do it up there. I mean, we have 650 acres to play with.
It's a huge place.
It's a huge amount of space, and there's so much potential, so much opportunity up there. But it's just, it's manpower. It's coming up with the people that want to get involved with it and see what we can do. So,
Well, if you wanted to divide it up into things, you could do like a summer camp spin-off thing, and we could have chainsaw massacres and stuff.
all right.
Ooh, I'm into that kind of power tool. Yes.
Mike, I know it's
Lola's
been a
into
while.
the power tools.
We ruined Lola. We
Really?
ruined Lola on this show.
Really?
She's only a shell of what. Well,
That's probably all the power tool we use, apparently.
Actually, this
She
is
went
our
crazy.
1 year anniversary, and Lola in 1 year is just.
Oh, it is our
Well,
Apparently, she's the only person on the
I forgot
island
about
building
it.
anything. So.
Everybody
But,
else is tearing stuff down.
yeah.
Now, if you got any ideas out there, give us a call.
Well, we already had a call
There
off
we
the
go.
air, somebody else that wants to volunteer, and she's got tons of experience, years of experience.
Yeah, that's nothing. If you want to give us a call now, we're more than happy. Lola can probably take down your number, and I can give you a call at a later time. So.
Yeah, we can write down your info. Nick and I are both going to be involved in this. I'm sure Lola's going to have her heart set in on it too.
Don't scare people off. We're not involved.
Actually,
you
I
won't
think
run into us.
I'll be down in Myrtle Beach this week, and
There's a spooky place for you, Myrtle Beach.
well,
Right?
I plan on working on a video.
Oh, really?
While I'm down there.
What kind of video?
At the beach.
I know the videos I work on in Myrtle Beach, so probably not the same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why are you turning red?
A workout video.
You embarrassed him already.
We're gonna
see what he works out.
I'm gonna
Excuse me, ma'am. I'm making
Jordan
a video.
patting his belly.
I can see Jordan running slow motion on the beach.
With his little cornrows.
You guys are horrible.
Jordan Klein in
started it,
Baywatch, Myrtle Beach.
See what I have
How
to live
come
with.
Lisa and I are laughing the hardest at this vision?
You guys are mean. That's what
We're
it
very
is.
visual people.
Yes.
The island's got beaches too, my friend. So you can always practice over there. Whatever you got to do. They're just as sandy.
Yeah.
If you're listening now, this is when Jordan's self-esteem hit rock
One
bottom.
line it just.
Let me tell you.
I've missed this.
I bet you have.
Okay, so if you want to help out, call the station now. Give Lola your info. We'll get it to Mike.
Change the subject as quick as
I'm trying.
Or you can give me a call up at Grandview Park.
Now, do you mind if I put any of your email address on our website for people to?
That's fine. Yeah.
Is the Mike Rizeko one?
Yes, I love being spammed.
All right.
Whatever you want to send it to me. And my phone number up at Grandview Park is 845-9810. So that's 304-845-9810.
Yes, we can't forget the 304.
Right. So I'm working on an 800 number now. I'll let you guys know.
Oh,
there we go.
800 or 9?
Well, it depends.
You can make money for the
900?
project.
Yeah.
Well,
I'll volunteer.
I know.
Did I say that out loud?
We have our first volunteer.
We get emails all the time. Like, oh my God, is Lola as hot as she sounds?
Yeah, and I just laugh at every one of them.
Like, you bet, and we get to, if you could teleport like you said you can, you'd be.
There's some dude that says he can teleport.
Oh, really?
He's also immortal, though.
Or some of them are psychics. You mean you can't see me in your mind's eye?
So you have somebody that can teleport.
Well, apparently, but they don't.
That
He
is
doesn't want
awesome.
to come.
He's in the Philippines, which, first off, if you could teleport, maybe.
Get out of there. Yeah.
Yeah, and he's also immortal.
I mean, we've even
both of those.
Yeah,
we've got everything going for him.
We've thrown out an offer. Hey, be at the station next Tuesday.
We'll interview you.
Just teleport on in.
Yep.
I mean, if you got the time.
He could have teleported and missed the coordinates or something. He's in the wall. Every time we say it,
we'll
hear
see a
knocking.
hand sticking out. Help me!
He's on Moondog's handlebars. I teleport here. All the places.
He's flat.
Oh.
We've lost Lola again.
It's been a long day.
I bet. How long you been here?
Since noon.
Wow.
I know. Like anybody wants to hear me this long. I don't want to hear me this long. I don't know why anybody else does.
No.
Well, I was going to call you and make sure you brought your computer. I was like, is Lola at work? And turn on the radio. You hear Lola, what? Yeah, she's there. I don't need to call her. You're always here.
I know. Oh, jeez.
So what else is new, guys?
Jeez.
What else is going on?
Now, you were telling us about some ideas you had about tourism and stuff, and bringing paranormal tourism into the area, and how that would help stimulate the economy, people here.
And I'd like to hear, while we're on that, you know, capitalizing on Marshall County tourism geared toward the paranormal. I want to hear from people out in Marshall County. How would you feel about let's say Moundsville turn it into like Roswell?
Right. I mean, that's one of the things that we were talking about. Us on the side was that I think Marshall County and Moundsville with the prison, with the Mound, with Grandview Park. There's so many other things down there too that can be considered historic landmarks that could potentially have some kind of paranormal activity at some point that could be looked into. And I think especially during the month of October. It should be looked at as there's so many things going on there. Why not turning it into like a Spookville, USA kind of atmosphere where you just embrace that, the history of the area and use it to try to generate some tourism. Everybody here, I think, would be happy to see, a lot of things going on in your town, and also too, it brings people in. I think if you, market it well enough, I think you can do that. I think the whole area can be feed off that. Look at Roswell. I mean, Alien Crash was it 1948? Mm-hmm. And they've been playing off that ever since. And you can go there, and the whole town is thriving on the fact that there's an alien crash.
And if you look, Nick and John both have on their Roswell shirts today.
There you go.
John's has a alien face, and it says "I believe." Roswell, New Mexico. Mine is supposedly a fertility god.
It's a fertility alien.
That's what.
All right, I don't need that around me right now.
No, you don't.
We have babies popping all over the place.
Right.
That's crazy.
So, but I just think that anything that we can do in this area to generate, some tourism and try to attract people here can only be a good thing and should be considered in the long run. So, I look at Roswell and it's a perfect example, but there's a lot of other, towns out there. I think what was the place you were mentioning? That did it?
Liverpool.
Liverpool.
They have Shiverpool.
Right.
I was even reading one a couple days after we were over with you. It's in Alabama, and they're capitalizing on it. I can't remember what it was, but they're on the whole area's, got a lot of history and a lot of ghosts that happen. So they decided that why not just capitalize on it, and they're turning it into a lot of revenue.
Well, look at New Orleans,
trails and everything,
and Gettysburg.
Yeah,
all those places.
I mean, look at the prison down in Moundsville. I mean, it's the one place. How many times has it been on the Travel Channel? Like a million. So that's the one place down there that you can turn on the Travel Channel anytime throughout the weekend and see it. It's on demand. I mean, you can bring up the prison and just watch some of this stuff, and it's really cool.
Here we go. Alabama's ghost trail may scare up tourism dollars. In Wilcox County, it's known as the Billy Hole, where in antebellum times. I don't know. I just read the article.
Can you say Billy Hole on the radio?
Did you beep him?
Did you beep me?
Billy beep?
I don't know why. But
oh, no.
I don't know anything about this.
I don't know if we're gonna have any Billy Holes down in Marshall County.
You bring a lot of money in.
Not bad.
Look at Las Vegas. Sure look around Las Vegas.
Tie into your fertility alien. We'll make all kinds of money.
We've got ideas. Supposedly it's where in antebellum times a female slave jumped into a wooded pool because she didn't want to be sold. The pool got its name after her death. Why, I don't know. Stories abound that on nights of the full moon, Billy, I guess it's the girl's name, can be seen to rise up out of the hole wearing a long white dress. So, yeah. So
Let's see. I'm sure there's a lot of stories. Marshall County is huge.
I've never heard of how many people, raise your hand if you've heard of the Billy Hole before.
Well, of course we haven't, but
everybody's
they're just
seen the prison. That's free advertising.
Well,
right there.
last week we had the guys for the funeral home that they turned into a haunted house, and one of the things he said, he just shot out, they have that prison in Moundsville.
Yeah.
I don't even know if that guy knew where our show was coming out of.
He
but
might
he
have heard the commercial.
threw out. Yeah.
I hadn't thought about that just now.
But he knew that we had a haunted prison in Moundsville.
Right.
I mean, people know. I mean, it's been on Ghost Adventures, Taps. I mean,
look at all the other things. I mean, you have even the drive-in down there, and you have the Strand Theater down there. You have a lot of older historic areas, even the trails and the woods and all kinds of stuff that you can really, if you do some research and look into it, those are all things that you can highlight and maybe check out. And I think, I think Moundsville and Marshall County needs to really, look at some of these things and see where you can take it, because anything you can do to bring people in is a good thing, I think.
I'm thinking even if you went past Marshall County and went into,
Sure.
Ohio and all, you could have this entire area could be ghost central.
Right. Well, you just have to think of different ways to generate some tourism in this area. And I think what they're really doing with Frank and everybody here in the city is doing with the Capitol and a lot of the different programs they have going on here. There's a lot of good things in Ohio County, and I think even in Marshall County the work is just beginning on a lot of this stuff. But you're going to see a lot of good things coming to this area and a lot of things to be proud of. Halloween, I think, is just one of those months where you can do stuff for an entire month, and what I mean, Halloween and Christmas are the 2 months that you really just can, feed off of one theme and just roll with it. Yeah. All month long, every single day, you can just enjoy the Halloween atmosphere and really kind of sink it in. And it can make a lot of money for your area. So,
well, we had somebody on that, I don't know which one of us asked the question, but is Halloween special? And I'm just saying this loosely, to ghosts, because you have so many things that go on. And she said that it's not the date necessarily, but it's all the energy that is put into an area because it's Halloween and people expect to go and see ghosts or something like that. So you have additional energy in there. So I think we were talking about Gettysburg, whether it's, there's a lot more activity there at Halloween. And so it, be the same thing here.
I don't know many people that don't like Halloween. You know what I mean? Dressing up or, going to the dances or just, the trick-or-treating with kids and all. I don't know many people that dislike that, that whole month. So, I'm really looking forward to it. I think Grandview Park is an amazing place, and if people haven't been up there, I mean, we just got the bid accepted for a $1.8 million pool that they're putting in for next summer. There's the mini golf up there. There's the amphitheater. There's the new cabins. We're looking at disc golf. We're going to start this Saturday, having like a little tryout up there on the 25th? Was it next Saturday? So, I mean, there's so much cool stuff going on up there. And I think Grandview Park mixed with the Mound, with the prison, with the Strand, there's so much in Marshall County that Marshall County has to be proud of. And I think you really look into it. And this Halloween thing, I think, is really a good thing. If people really, get involved with it, you would have the prison, you would have Grandview Park and the haunted hikes and, the haunted hills. So I think it'll be a lot of fun.
Yeah, I think it'd be great. We need people. So.
Yeah.
And the mini golf was awesome when we were up there. That was very impressive.
It was packed today. I took my daughter up, and it was all kinds of people were up there just enjoying it. There's a brand new playground up there, and it's just one place that's going to continue to grow, and I think you should check it out.
It seems to me that it's like one of the best kept secrets.
It is.
Yeah.
I know I didn't know where it was before I started working down in Marshall County, but really within the last 10 to 11 months when Craig White took it over, it's really seen an increase in popularity, and he's done a great job with it. So.
The haunted house. We need volunteers. We need help.
Hills. We need to come up with you're right. We need to come up with a great name.
Haunted Hills Sanitarium.
Right.
I threw out my name and everybody laughed at me.
Wait, what was your name again? Like
Thrilla and the Hilla.
Oh, dear Lord.
Thrilla and the Hilla.
See what I deal with. Poor Lisa deals with this on a daily basis.
It sounded really good in my head, and it sounded horrible when I said it. I should have stopped in the middle, just like, never mind, that sucks.
You got any ideas, give us a call, 304-214-1600. If you're out of the area, 866-514-1600. We're going to take a break. We'll be right back on Whispers Radio, AM 1600, WKKX, the Valley's Watchdog, and UPRN, the UFO Paranormal Radio Network.
All around me tumbling.
Welcome back to Whispers, everybody, on AM 1600 WKKX, the Valley's Watchdog, and UPRN, the UFO Paranormal Radio Network.
I knew you couldn't get rid of him. I knew it.
7:37.
We got, what, 20 minutes left?
Why? Wait around. We ain't in a hurry. We're waiting for volunteers to call.
It happens once a year, so.
If you want to volunteer, call 304-214-1600. If you're out of the area, 1-866-514-1600. Just because you're out of the area does not mean you cannot volunteer or help out at this event. We're looking for all kinds of help. Ideas.
Teleport in.
Yeah, there you go.
Teleport. Hey.
Right.
Come on, Rodolfo.
Get those aliens to just drop you off.
Right.
You know, as a flyby.
Whatever you can do, do it.
We're not going to talk anymore till someone calls.
Well, there's a blessing.
Yeah.
Thousands
of radios just turned off all around the world.
We all should. No.
Nick's not going to talk until somebody calls, and then we won't get any calls at all.
It never works out. It's not fair.
Oh.
All right, here we go. I got a DeCarlo's pizza to give away from the Grove. I feel like I'm feeling a little froggy today.
Oh, geez.
What?
This show has gone.
It's behind you.
No, I was expecting, because usually the sound effects come from Lola, and it's usually a pig squealing.
Don't look at me like that.
So I didn't.
Don't look at me like that.
You swine.
We had swine flu.
I got 10 pieces of DeCarlo's pizza. I want to hear some ghost stories, peeps.
Pam, call Pam.
Has Pam got a ghost story?
Yes, she does.
Or UFO stories or frog stories.
I want to hear
anything.
a UFO story too. And we
What
need
is
volunteers. Was that a frog?
It's not me. It's not me. Here's my hand.
We got issues. It's our 1-year anniversary and this has happened.
Yes, it has. And the show has gone downhill.
And here's the day we get kicked. Well, we always said we wanted to make it at least 1 year. That's
Yes.
There you go.
we brought.
We won't be back next week.
Mike's the reason we have a show.
You guys should be sitting here thanking me for like an hour.
You had us the first.
All right, who we got, Lo?
I had you at hello.
This is Becky.
Hey, Becky.
Hi.
How you doing?
Fine.
Let's hear what you got.
Well, there's an old ghost story about the old WTRF TV station down in Wheeling, and it happened. I'm not really sure if it was like the 30s or the 40s, but the elevator operator at WTRF at the time, it was the old-fashioned elevators, and there were lots of ghost stories going around about that time. And the lady who worked it, I don't know her name, but the lady who was operating the elevator, for some reason, got her head stuck in the elevator and got her head cut off.
Oh, jeez.
And that's a true story, and older people around the valley all know about that story, but it was really creepy because it was around Halloween time when it happened, and of course the lady died, and so that
was kind of a given.
That's usually a fatal accident.
Yeah.
Well, we were talking about the headless horseman.
The headless elevator person. Wow. How long ago was that?
I think that happened in the 30s or 40s.
Oh.
So, of course I wasn't around then, but, I can remember my parents talking about it, and, even like my older aunts, nowadays will even tell me that they remember this story too.
That's why I take the stairs.
Hey.
Now, what are the haunting stories? Do you know? How often does that happen, or is it like every Halloween night the elevator moves
up and down,
That I really don't know. I just know that the story that I've heard many times from many different people, and it's WTRF, and so every time I go past there, I get a creepy feeling because I always think about that story of my parents telling me that story. So
see, we know some people that work there, so we're gonna see what we can figure out on that old elevator.
Great.
There we go.
Great.
Oh, Becky, you just want a DeCarlo's pizza from the Grove.
Well, thank you.
Which is the best DeCarlo's pizza around.
Yeah.
Yeah. So just stop by here and pick it up.
Okay.
All right, thanks a lot for your call, Becky.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Headless elevator operator.
Female, yeah.
I mean, how do you get your head stuck in an elevator?
What?
was that?
Well, it's got to be before, like, once it hits something and they come right back up. So, but still, I mean, it's common. They're not the fastest things in the world.
You usually see the doors closing. It's
Yeah.
like,
well,
my God,
in those ones, she had to close it.
so she had to close the door on
Yeah.
herself.
Why?
She
Talk about loving her job.
Right. Must have
I'll
been a
show
bad
you
day.
guys.
Bad news day at WTRS.
We need something to
Or
talk
slow one.
about.
Yeah, I'm going to create some news on the elevator.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay,
guys.
Yeah.
It's like you can't. This is radio. You can't have dead air. We can't make faces at each other.
But see, this is what happened. We got all flustered because Mike was in here. Now we're just lost.
Well, really, I think you should spend the next 17 minutes thanking me for the
Mike,
last year.
Thank you so much for this last year.
We're not worthy.
I think you're amazing.
We suck.
We suck.
What are you praising him for?
He got us the show.
Yeah, I mean, it was a year ago.
He's taking credit, and
Right.
we gave it to him, I guess.
Lila's like,
Who we
thanks
got?
a lot.
Look what you made me do.
I expect hugs afterwards.
Group hug, everybody.
Snuggle.
Who we got, Lo?
Barb.
Hey, Barb.
Hey guys,
What's
how's
going
it
on?
I want to know what y'all are drinking tonight because
I'll tell you what. I'll tell you exactly.
Here we go.
Here's what happened. Because for some reason, I went to the bank, and I'm not going to tell you which one, that I deposited a large amount of money in the other day, and it's not in there yet. So I wasn't able to get my chocolate milk, okay?
Uh-oh.
Which is, as everybody knows, the only thing you're supposed to be drinking when you're
So
on
I
the
had
radio.
to deal with that coming over here. Cries and tears and.
Well, why didn't you buy him one then?
So
I forgot my money at the house.
So here's what Uncle Jordy had to do. I'm drinking sugar-free Kool-Aid.
Uh-oh.
Now,
Uncle Jordy.
Are you gonna
that doesn't make me happy.
Do I have to call you Uncle Jordy from now on?
That's even scarier.
That's creepy.
Climb up on Uncle Jordy's lap. Let me tell you a story.
I was going to say Big Daddy, but that
I like Uncle Jordy. That's cool.
Sugar-free Kool-Aid. Who does that?
Then why are you so happy?
Yeah, you're sugar-free.
'cause he's whining.
There's no sugar.
Because I'm in that one stage where you're really tired, but you're not getting any. You know what I mean?
What?
No, I don't know. You got a story for us, Barb?
I'm always in that stage. My Lord.
All right, well, I have a story for you.
Let's hear it.
I'm a little bit sensitive, so I pick up on stuff. I used to work at Northwood, and I went to the different houses for the developmentally disabled. And there's a house up in Warwood, and I won't say what street it's on, but the land was left to Northwood by a nurse who had no family, and she passed away. They tore down her house, and they built this wonderful little place for very profoundly handicapped people. And my first week, you have to go around to each house and do some time. So I went up there, and they told me stories about this white figure they see all the time that's dressed like a nurse. And the one room at the very end of the house had the one person who was absolutely bedridden and never blinked or anything. But every once in a while, her eyes would follow something and she would smile. And I don't even know if she's still alive. This is years ago. And one night, the supervisor went in, because you have to do your rounds every so many hours, and she was laying in bed smiling, and the supervisor glanced over and saw this, and then it was gone. And that's one of the first things they tell you when you work there. Don't be surprised if you work the midnight shift and you see this, because she's very nice. I mean, she's never hurt anybody, but you don't ever really see her completely. So now I'm like taking all this in. The pop machine is at the very end of the hall in a little cupboard past this young lady's room. And it was like 3 o'clock in the morning, and I'm like, I'm going to go down there and get a pop. Well, I go down, I get to the doorway, and the nurse on duty walks out, and she's all in white. And I about passed out.
No, was it a real person? Like
it was a
alive?
real person.
Okay.
But the story is true. I'm sure if you called Northwood, they wouldn't tell you, names and everything. But the story is very true. A nurse used to live in the house, and she left it to them. And this one poor soul, never acknowledged life or anything, would smile at certain times and blink her eyes, and it was always somebody would see a mist or a light, and then it would be gone, and she would be catatonic again.
Ooh,
It's kind of weird.
Yeah, that is creepy. I used to work at one of the psych hospitals around here, and we had a thing. We had buttons on the wall. They were panic buttons, and if there was something going on, some kind of psych emergency, you'd hit the button, people would come running. And the way the place was laid out, you had to go through several locked doors in order to get to the gym. Well, it was one night. It was probably about 9:30. The alarm went off in the gym, so both people from both units took off running and got down there. All the lights were off. There was nobody in there. Nothing was going on. We're like, huh, okay. So we all turn around and kind of scurry back because we're like, whoa, what the heck was that? So we get back, and I'm talking to the manager. I was like, yeah, it was the craziest thing. And he says, he's like, well, about 6 months before he had started, he's been there for quite a long time, that a nurse had died in the gym, brain aneurysm or something. And that he knows there was a kid, I guess a year or two after that, who just started flipping out in the gym and said the woman in the white dress with no eyes was, screaming or whatever. And he said nobody knew this, but she donated her eyes, to somebody else.
Oh, my gosh.
That's creepy.
Yeah, right?
It is. Yeah, it is. Oh, my goodness.
Yeah.
All right, well, I wanted to give you that little tidbit.
All right, Barb, you got a...
You know what? You guys are winging it, but it's great.
Hey, you know what?
Happy anniversary, and
Well,
I'm sure you'll be there for another year.
Well, I'm hoping. I hope the boss isn't listening to this show.
Let me talk to Lola off the air for a second.
She's answering a call, so hold on.
Okay, Barb, I'm going to put you on hold.
Okay.
Who we got?
Now this is Barb, the other Barb.
Barb number 2.
They're
Hello.
cloned.
Hi, Barb.
I have a short story I'll tell you.
There we go.
My grandfather passed away in his home, and I was only about 12 then, but when I had my first son, he was over visiting my grandmother, and he wasn't able to walk yet. He was still crawling, and he didn't say much either, but he got up to his feet and was walking down the hall like he was holding somebody's hand, and I said, "Who are you with, Daniel?" And he says, "Pap Pap." I was like, okay. That was kind of creepy.
He said he was with Pap. How often does that happen?
A lot now.
I see.
All the grandkids seem to see him.
Huh.
Yeah.
Wow. See, kids, anything that has to do with the kids, it creeps me out.
I would
And
say,
don't know
why
what-
don't you record or something, but I wouldn't.
Yeah, there you go. Record it and see what you get.
Yeah.
You do it in your house, I wouldn't do it in mine.
Well, I mean,
I am
but
a
you don't
scaredy
have
cat.
this going on in your house.
I'm afraid to know
I'm
what's
surprised
happening.
you haven't recorded it and stuff yet.
Jordan, have you recorded ever
Yeah.
in your house?
I mean, 'cause
Well, I
you've
mean,
got
she's
all
got
the
something going
equipment,
Well, I know that.
You know.
Now, he's having a conversation, right? He talks to Pap Pap.
Yeah. Well, my oldest son is sensitive.
Okay.
So, and we live in front of the prison, so.
You know, Barb.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're saying they're all hearing this,
So all the kids.
And how many are we talking about?
Let's see. I have 3. My cousin has 1, and there's 4 nephews. So.
That many kids are all seeing Pap Pap?
Yeah. It's crazy.
Are you seeing him?
What's that?
Do you see him too?
No, I don't.
Do you notice anything else at all happen? Cold spots or?
There's cold spots there. We get weird little breezes once in a while. Doors will open and shut.
Wow.
You need to record them when
Yeah,
the kids
I
are
do.
talking. Yeah, I would.
I mean, that's earlier or this last hour we were talking about EVP. All you got to do is throw that recorder on.
Yeah.
Especially when they're talking, because if they're hearing something, you never know what you'll get.
What kind of recorder do you need?
Any.
Just any?
Digital recorder is best.
Yeah, I have like 3 different ones. So.
Yeah. I'm surprised you haven't thought of doing that, Barb.
Well, I usually go other places and do it. I don't really.
Do it at home.
Yeah, I don't do it at home.
Are you scared? Do you think?
No.
Well, I mean, I'm not afraid going into other people's houses, but I'd be afraid doing it in my own.
But if
I
you're
was
Pap
gonna
Pap, why? I wouldn't be afraid of my Pap.
I'll tell you what I
Right.
see every time I think about running equipment at my house. that like I'm laying in bed because I live alone. My dog's in her cage. Here I am laying down, and there's some dead kid like at the edge of my bed waiting for me to wake up.
You paint such a pretty picture, Jordan.
That's why nobody goes to your house.
Well, I live by the Indian burial mound too, so I mean,
yeah, you could have all kinds of interference from the prison, from the mound, from you have no idea.
Well, we do have a little Indian boy that pops up once in a while.
See, I just find all that fascinating. She's seen people walking in the top floor of the prison and everything because you can see the whole prison from our front porch.
Oh. Too much of it.
Now, Barb, you're going to be helping us with the haunted house, right?
Yes, I'm hoping to, yeah.
Awesome.
We need all the help we can get, so bring your buddies.
I will.
Cool.
I can definitely do that.
All right, Barbara, I'll be giving you a call soon.
Cool. I'll be waiting.
All right.
We're out of DeCarlo's Pizza, but I got a Da Vinci's Pizza.
Where's that?
It's right on the top of Peters Run Road, next to Ogilvy Apartments. Ollie's Hilltop.
It's up 88. It's up 88.
Yeah, like you're going towards West Liberty.
West Lab.
All that. It's right where Peters Run and 88 meet. Yeah.
Yeah. Delicious pizza. I go there all the time.
Cool.
All right, we'll have it here waiting for you. Thank you very much for your call.
All right.
Thanks.
See you later, Barb.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
All right. Got an email, and I want to read it, and I think it's funny that it happened today where we're like winging a half hour. It's from Jen. It says, "Hi there. I just wanted to drop you guys a line, let you know I really dig your paranormal podcast because we record the show and we podcast it out. I discovered it recently and think I finally caught up with all the episodes. I could not get the older ones to play. You guys keep me company while I'm at work. I really love the interaction between you all, and you seem to have wonderful guests and really great discussions. I totally look forward to more ghost stories, hauntings, and other wild tales from you all. And if you would consider it, I'd love to hear more cryptozoology stuff. Keep up the wonderful work, Jen." She's from New York.
Yeah, I can take care of that. Get some more crypto stuff on. And one of the ones during the week, people can go and put. There's a Meebo chat room on, and someone left this message. Thanks for whoever put the archives back online. If you remember, the site crashed again. I keep on getting emails like you must have a gremlin or it's haunted or something. Who knows?
Well, ours here messes with the phone.
Something does. But it says, live way far from Willing, spent the winter in Africa, and rely on them now that I'm back home. Love the show. So
great.
So
somebody likes our mindless babbling.
And Jim Lights on the chat room said she loves us and she sent us a kiss. So
there we go.
There you go.
There's no accounting for taste.
Different strokes. That's why. Lisa, you want to read your thing again for any?
Yes. Spiro Academy is having a Send a Kid to Summer Camp spaghetti sale Wednesday, tomorrow, July 15th. We'll deliver to your businesses. It's $5. It includes homemade roll and dessert. And if you want to call 1-740-738-0203, they'll answer New Heart Covenant Christian Center. You can tell them how many you want for your business, and also if you want to stop in later on that evening or throughout the day, you can also stop at 300 Howard Street in Bridgeport, Ohio, and come in, pay $5, and get your dinner to go.
That's right across from that Exxon, correct?
Yes, it's catty corner.
It's delicious because we do it every year. Delicious pizza. What the heck?
You got pizza on the mind.
I know. It's spaghetti. It's all good. There's a lot of it. It's not just a little portion, and you're helping a kid go to camp. So it's a good deal for everybody.
All right, since we're killing time, don't kill me,
You start
Nick.
smiling.
I just clicked on Lola's blog, and miraculously, there's Lola's blog. How do I write on it?
Well,
very carefully.
Well, Lola, you would
click
on the admin thing at the bottom. It says log in.
Well, here's what I want you to do. I want you to tell everybody your password so that we get all kinds of crazy stuff for her blog.
Jordan's password is
log in. That's all I do.
Log
What'd
in
you put for my username?
Lola.
Oh, geez, that was hard.
Oh, there's half the battle, guys.
Nick is creative, let me tell you. But we set this up last
Password's
week.
Miller, right?
No, but I bet you could guess what it is.
We have one more story. John, who's been quiet this entire time, has a ghost story for us.
So, the guy who was waving.
Yeah, he waved at you guys earlier.
Yeah, my house that I live at now, I have a ghost in it. And I've seen him probably, I'd say at least 5 times. And he's usually just coming down, either standing at the stairs or right at the foot. But it's like I always see him only out of the corner of my eye. And it's a man, say, you know, from probably like the 1960s, slim man, you know how they dressed.
Oh,
you know.
leisure suit
Hippies?
dude?
No,
Oh,
leisure
okay.
suit. Like,
Thank goodness.
Cowboy boots.
Yeah. Like Dennis Menace, the guy that lived next door, you know, his buddy.
Go up closer.
Oh. But I've seen him there, and at first it bothered me a little bit, but I'll be walking past my stairs going in the kitchen, and I see him, and I just say, I seen you. You know, I talk to him, you know, whenever I see him now. But there's always, at my house, there's a lot of eerie, you know, stuff going on. You know, feeling like people walking around in the bedroom at night. And I'm basically living by, my daughter lives with me, but most of the time I'm by myself. And it's real eerie at the house.
We need to
Nick
be
said he was
afraid,
going to
Mike.
come and check it out one of these times.
So Dennis the Menace's neighbor?
So
yeah,
that's
what he's dressed like. You know, that.
Do they have a bow tie on?
No.
Oh, no.
But the guy who lived there before us, he died in that house. My mom, when my mom was alive, she thought it was probably him.
Did he get his head stuck in a door somewhere, and that was it?
No, but he did get his head smashed.
That happens in Wheeling.
Is there a problem around this place?
It was a rash.
Nikki, who we got next week?
Next week we have Chad Austin, another EVP researcher. And I'm going to try to get somebody for the 40th moon landing. I've not decided yet. So if anybody out there wants to, you know, is an expert on the moon or moon bases or something
I've seen
like that,
it, so I can probably help out.
We'll have Mike back on. Mike will be like, well, the moon's...
It's there.
It's
just
silver.
It's big today.
Sky. Sometimes it's a crescent.
All right, everybody. That's all the time we got this week.
Thank God.
Okay, I blogged.
You blogged.
You blogged?
I just put
Yay!
but I blogged. It's better than I've done before.
Go check it out, everybody.
Yeah.
Whispersradio.com, right to the right side of it says Lola's blog. Click on that thing.
Yeah, it's really a brilliant sentence.
I can't wait to go home and check it out. I'm out of here.
You're gonna.
Well, I'm blogging.
He's running. Bye.
Don't go too fast.
I've got the blog. Here we go. Well, I'm blogging. Now what?
I can't wait for sentence 2.
Thank you.
Wow.
Yeah.
You have the entire nation at the edge of their seats, Lola.
People on the Ivory Coast are just dying to know what I'm going to say next.
What?
The guy's waiting to teleport, but he can't.
He's like, oh my God, wait, what if she says something else?
I need coordinates.
I should send them to him.
We need GPS.
All right. Before the boss does listen and kick us off the air, next week's Chad Austin, we're going to try to get something on the moon landing. Until next week, everybody, don't be afraid, only believe.